From Senegal to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance, it was resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricated real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Deanest nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in disguise. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double. The inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm's speeches, Martin's marches, every voice begins to tremble to the earth until the structure shows its fractures. FBI was tracking every coon with every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double. The inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right. This is, and you are under the groove. All right. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you here. Happy Monday. As the saying goes, grand rising to each and every one of you. A little snafu, don't put it past me to make a mistake, because I'm going to do that every now and then. All right. That being said, I'm fortunate to be here, and I would like to think the rest of you are looking at it the same way. It is a grand rising. Here we are. Let's get into it. I thought Friday was pretty good, right? I think that when we come together and we do what we do, especially based upon the conversations we have, I think that those are fortunate times for us, moments we share together. I think that have, for a lot of us, some clarity, understanding. It gives us insights, you know what I'm saying? And I like to think that when we leave this situation, we leave, taking something with us that, we didn't necessarily come with to begin with. And I think that should always be the function, the purpose. When we coming up in here, man, we coming to get something, and if we think, or if we should feel that, we shout, or you feel like, hey, man, they shout today, say something. Let me know, what I mean? Get it to where, we having these discussions and they above board. Hey, bub, hey, man, you're lacking today. Let's, hopefully that never happens. All right. But anything is possible, man. And it does happen from time to time. Again, though, we're fortunate. Here we are. Nothing to complain about. All right. Nothing to complain about. We did Friday. Friday was cool. And I sat back, man. I looked at a few things. I did some shorts as a result of, that session we had Friday. And I thought that, again, that session was pretty dang good. I don't know if there's such a thing as outdoing, the previous show, but that should be the intent, right? We should always aspire to do better than we did, previous, the day before, or whatever the case may be. So here we are. And that's the reason for my being here. And I like to think that that is also you guys' reason to be here. I got some stuff I want to drop. We talked about this Friday. Son-in-law, my stepson did something for me, man. And I see it as phenomenal. It was pretty good. So I went in and I'm taking bits and pieces from it. Just bits and pieces I want to share with you guys that actually covers, it talks about, discusses what we've been talking about over the months. In terms of us, the people, the B1s, I think that it's a good look for us to go back and look at what we've done, rehash over it, to see if there's any validity in terms of what we've been sharing with one another. Is there any power in what we've been discussing? Have we left better individuals as a result of it? That's my, I think that's the purpose. That should be the purpose. All right. That being said, again, welcome everybody. This is Under the Groove podcast, and we are Under the Groove. Let's get it on. Shouts out to everybody. Let me send a birthday shout out to my loved one, Neil. Also, Rodney. Happy belated birthday to you, brothers. And I like to think that you guys had yourselves a good time. All right, a good goddamn time. It's on me when I see you again, and hopefully that's soon. That will be soon. If you're in that moment, you got that time, sit back, man, and chop it up. You know what I mean? It's on me. You feel me? That being said, welcome everybody. This is Under the Groove podcast, and we are touching bases with the people. I've been going through these comments. There are a lot. I didn't know it'd be that many comments, especially when I'm going through the shorts and stuff, as well as the live stream. There are a lot of comments always in there. And I actually have to take my time, to really sit down and think about how I respond or how I should respond to a lot of what's being said. The majority, all of the comments are always positive. There are no trolls, there are no disrespect, anything of that nature. And that's what I appreciate about this get down. I think that for me, I need to always maintain a certain demeanor. You know what I'm saying? I think it's only right. Being respectful, being courteous, being, just considerate, carry myself in such a way that it leads to other individuals seeing something, it could be an example. It could be just a good vibe, a feel that makes them think and also feel like, all right, man, hey, that should be a part of my get down. I should carry myself like this, not because Bub does it, but because that feels right. We're talking about our energy, our source, our life source. That's really what it's plugged into, and that's really what it's about. We're under the impression that we just some ornery people. We're murderers and thieves. We have no conscience. We aren't principled. We have no morals and integrity. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's just part of the lie we've been fed. They spoon fed us this way for a long time. And now we're at a point where they don't have to do anything anymore. We do it ourselves. We do it to ourselves. We tend to think in terms of inferiority. We tend to think in terms of undisciplined, unprincipled, you know what I'm saying? Lacking morals, you hear it a lot. We hear brothers and sisters always talking about F this, F that, I don't care, I don't give a spazzing out, crashing out, all that stuff. All this stuff is learned behavior, man. And it's not your true nature. It's just not, man. It's none of this is our true nature in terms of what we see us as a people going through. This is, hey man, this is all made up. It's manufactured. It's manufactured. Ain't nothing natural about it. Trust that. Trust and know that's the truth. That's the truth. All right. That being said, I'm gonna get into this thing. I was just talking to the loved one, man, and he said, man, I hear you, your brother Bub now. And I enjoyed that. I said, yeah, man, yeah, I don't have a problem with that, I tell you guys, I'm comfortable in this skin, I'm more comfortable in this skin than I've ever been. I recognize that what I'm on, a lot don't agree with. A lot may see as a gimmick, as a game. But I'm here to tell you, man, this ain't about no gimmicks. I really trust, and I know within my soul, this is what I need to do, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm with this, So the brother Bub handle, I took, I took as a compliment, I took as a compliment. I'm doing things now that I couldn't have seen myself doing 20 years ago, 30 years ago, So yeah, there's growth there. And I think that growth, has a lot to do with a natural procession of things. I think this is in an organic development, happening with me. I'm cool with it, If you ask me, would I like to see others? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, and you don't have to, again, just let's be ourselves. You don't have to be me. We don't have to be nobody that we don't want to be but ourselves, man. And I think I'm being myself. I'm pretty sure I'm being myself, and I'm comfortable again in the skin I'm in. All right. That being said, damn, hell of a lot of I get to talking, man, and I forget, you know, part of our get down, for those of you who don't know, we like to come in, man, and pay homage to the people, you know, to the people. That would be the RGC, the Royal Group Congregation, as well as those other brothers and sisters who just coming in, tapping in, you know, wanting to see what this thing is about. We pay homage, you know. If you come up on this get down in this chat, man, with us, I'm gonna let it be known you're here. All right. I might call you by name. I may not read everything you wrote, you put in the comments, but we want to acknowledge our brothers and sisters first and foremost. So this is why we do what we do. Or I come in and I want to read these comments because I think they're significant. I think they mean a whole lot. These are our brothers and sisters talking, you know. These are our brothers and sisters putting themselves out there, letting it be known that they're here, you know, and they're with the business. You know, it's all above board here. Love and respect, you know, dignity, you know what I mean? Unity, identity, and history. That's what we chopping up. All right. This is the B1 section, y'all. This is the B1 section. That means black first. Black first. So anyway, shouts out to everybody. And again, happy belated birthday to Neil and Rodney and others who I may have missed, you know. Enjoy life, you know. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Know that you're fortunate to be here, you know, because, you know, don't nobody know better than you. Things could have went south a long time ago, you know. So there that is. Hey, man, I see you up in here, James. What it do, loved one? Everything is everything. That's what's good with me, bro. How about yourself? What have you done today, man? What does it look like on your end, huh? I see you, B60. I see. And just so you know, we on that, you know, we printed out everything. So we're going through each bundle piece by piece. And like I said, we're going to tap in with you. I've been watching the situation, the information you gave me. I tuned in this morning and yesterday, you know, to get a bar, you know, get a feel of that get down, man. So yeah, I appreciate you locking me into that. All right. Peace and prosperity, you and yours, man. There you go. You say greetings, greetings and salutations to you, Bub, and the RGC B1, as always, you guys. James said, man, under the groove. Let me light up my funk real quick. Yeah, get it in, man. Get it in. Get it in, you know. Hope all is well, brother Bub. Everything again is everything. Queen Nzinga says, hey, Royal Group Congregation, I love starting my week off with my people. Peace and blessings to all the kings and queens here this evening. B1, everybody. Again, for those who don't know, black first, you know, and that's not a disrespectful, you know, phrase we use and nothing like that. Again, ours is above board. We're not here to disrespect anyone. We're here to bring ours together, get it together, you know, because we're pretty sure that when that happens, when that happens, when the melanated people get it together, the world's gonna change. That's what we on. All right. So yeah, there that go. Donald, what it do? So what's good, brother Bub? Everything is everything. How about yourself? Peace and prosperity, you and the fam, bro. Good to see you up in here with us. James say hit that switch pancake, hitting licks on the Crenshaw strip, bend the corner on 3 wheels at the light. Got front and back, then side to side. Get your ride on, get your groove on all day and night. One. The 70s made the best music, and the 80s and 90s are a close second. And I wouldn't give a damn about the rest because it ain't relevant. In F Hollywood. Yeah, me and the wife, we, you know, just throughout the day, man, certain music come up and you gotta appreciate it because they don't make that like that anymore. And ours, what we're used to, that's that late 60s, that 70s, that 80s, in my opinion, it's even better than the early 60s, 50s, you know, that music they thought was everything. Ours, I think, transcends generations, you know. We grew up on this music, and as a result, a lot of our children grow up on this music, though it's in a close competition. Let's be frank, let's be 100. this new stuff that's out, you know, this stuff that kills your vibe and your frequency, you know, it's trying to take over the game, you know, the get down, man. It's trying to take over the music that is made for the people. We ain't gonna let that happen though. We're gonna keep pushing this stuff for first and foremost forward, and hey, straight ahead. That's it. That's what we on. All right, Henry Cedello, I see you, man. I appreciate you up in them comments like that, bro. I want to say that to you. Just the fact that you've been checking it out, man, and you've been, you know, doing how you do it. We appreciate that. I appreciate, you know, seeing you in this get down right here, right now. That means a great deal to us. Again, man, you're more than welcome to be here. Peace and prosperity, you and yours. This is Under the Groove Podcast, and you are officially touching bases with the people, man. You up in this get down. This is who you see. Most of who you see are part of the RGC. And again, that's just a name. It's not a gang tag or nothing like that, y'all. This is the Royal Group Congregation. Royalty is in the house, all right? And we come together, man, to congregate, man, and chop it up, man, on those matters, those issues, those things. They don't always have to be negative in terms of the conversation. We talk about a little bit of everything. We talk about Black culture, you know what I mean? And others, tell you the truth. We talk about movie cultures. We talk about music, food, you know. We do the damn thing, man. So welcome, bro. Your presence is appreciated. Lisa, all right, Lisa Moore, say blessings, big brother, to you and the family. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the chat. B1 Black first. There they go. One of our queen sisters right there. James said, that's how I always address my people in the hood and everywhere else I go. You my brother before anything else. I said, Black man, I don't see no gangster, no huster. Real talk. Love you, brother Bub. And that's the mindset. This is the mentality we want to bring to the table. You know, ain't no ninjas here, man. Ain't no bees here. You know, hey, man, you know, when you come here, leave all that other stuff, you know, leave that out the mix. We would appreciate that. We brothers and sisters here, you know, we brothers and sisters here, you know, and I think that there are a lot of brothers and sisters who might be involved in that culture. You know what I mean? But still, I think that there's that ability. There's that, I think, that energy in them to, you know, be a part of this and be a part of it correctly. You know, we leave all that other stuff out the mix, y'all. All right. Ain't no gang banging here. None of that. All right. None of that. I don't push it, you know, and I prefer that, you know, you guys don't push it on this channel. All right. Y'all want that. Y'all know where to go. You're not going to find it here. You know, I'm be straight up with you. Above board. It ain't here. All right. Brothers and sisters are in the house. This is where we get down at. All right. Appreciate that, James. You say, yeah, and that go for all my brothers and sisters. One. Henry Zadello says, sincerely, brother, you are very sincere in your ways and actions show and prove. Much respect from the LBC. The LBC is in the house. Appreciate that, though, Henry. Man, you know, statewide, man, nationwide, man, worldwide, they come in here, man, we chop it up. You know, brothers and sisters in this get down, man, just for those who don't know, they drop jewels and gems, man, for us to pick them up, you know, for brothers and sisters to pick them up. Take them with them, put in your pocket, man, you know, pass them on, you know, pass this stuff on. That's what we need to be doing rather than what we see going on. That's just what it is, you know. We need to, you know, each one teach one, each one reach one. Steel will sharpen steel. Facts. All right. That's just what it is. All right, Anthony, I see you, man. Salute right back to you. Good to see you up in here. Yeah. And again, hey, Henry, shout out to the LBC. Straight up. I got loved ones from over in that area. You know, they know who they are. Much love and respect to them. And nothing but the best, you know. That don't just go for the LBC, the CPT, you know, the Watts Car, Inglewood, you know what I'm saying, West LA, you know, Palmdale, Lancaster, you know, the IE, all of it. You dig? All of it. You know, brothers, come together, man. We are all we got. That's the truth. So James said, man, sending mine to all my true real CPT OGs. I love all of you inside out to the real big homies. I appreciate all of my elders that raised me and brought me up from the concrete. We all we got. That's the message, y'all. Alonzo, what it do? Peace to the RGC and you, Bub, and your family, big bro. We here, without a doubt. Front and center, man. I think this is the place to be for at least an hour, hour and a half. That's all we ask. Let's do it. Let's get it in. Before that, again, like, share, comment, subscribe. All right. Subscribe if you see fit. You know, we don't twist no arms here. We don't ask for your money. All we ask is that you come in this get out and bring something to the table in terms of positivity, you know, in terms of unity. You know, that's it. That's, you know, that don't cost nothing, man. It's in each and every one of us, man, to spit truth to power. That's, I think that's what we have an obligation to do that. You know, I think that's an obligation we all supposed to, you know, adhere to, fulfill. It's our work, you know, and I say that because that obligation, man, it just don't fall on who's up in this get out, man. That obligation, when you own it like you're supposed to be, it protects and it goes towards those in your family as well. See, you're pushing the line, but this line ain't being pushed by force. It's not being coerced. You know, you're not coercing nobody to do this. What you're saying is, hey, man, this is what it is. This is how life's supposed to be. All right. So, hey, this is what it is, man. This is what it's supposed to be. We have obligations that we need to start fulfilling, you know, and that goes, it should transcend beyond everybody in this get out, man. It should go to the family first. We supposed to holler at the family first, you know, show them the way, show them the way. Even the ones that's out there, man, whenever you get an opportunity with them, a minute or two, spit some in their ear, some positivity, give them a gem or a jewel to walk away with. That's our obligation. That's our work, man, to take care of the family, you know, to see to it that they getting something that's positive, you know. Hopefully it's enough to, you know, armor them up, especially if they're in the streets. You know, we want to dress them up right. We want to give them something that may protect them, to help them see the forest for the trees. We want to give them focus. That's our job, man. That's our work. Trust that. Trust that. Brother Bub at the helm. Yeah. Love when they'll hit me with that. I see, yeah. Yeah. You know, I imagine someone saying, who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Not Bub. Yeah, Bub, man. Just like me, it could be you too. And I'm talking to those who know I'm talking to them, who may be watching. Yeah, you too. Brother so-and-so, sister so-and-so. It's our work, man. This is what we supposed to be catering to, you know, the well-being of the people. All right. Enough of that, though. Hey, Rakufu, I see you, loved one. You say, what's up, RGC and Bub? I hope you got some good reviews on the movie, I suggested, Prisoner 2. Yeah, we watched that and it was okay. All right. You kind of made up. You still owe me one. You still owe me one. But yeah, Prisoner, yeah, it was all right, actually. Yeah, we watched that. And I enjoyed it. I have to say, I did enjoy it. The funny thing about after that went off, another movie came on, and this movie from 2016, also, Hardcore Henry. That movie was crazy as hell. It was crazy, man. I watched it twice. It was so crazy. But yeah, man, that movie, you did some justice on that one. You owe me another one. I would like to have that soon. You know, go and dig in your, you know, dig into your film files and hit me with something, man. Hit me with something. But appreciate you, Rakufu, for being here, bro. Peace and prosperity, you and the fam. All right. All right, Henry said, man, thank you, OG. I really appreciate that, brother. We appreciate you as well, man. You up in here with us. Let's make it happen. All right. James said, also, I just want to know all the suckers on the internet flapping and yapping gums need to fall back. 95% of these clowns wouldn't last a day in the 70s or 80s. Shaking my head. Peace to the real. Stay humble. One. Yeah, man. So I got sent something today. In regards to what you're talking about. See, this thing, this internet, and we've said this time and again, it's a beast. It's a beast. It will turn on you, man. That's the truth. It will turn on you, especially if you're in that lane where it's always some mess, where it's always brother pitted against brother, you know, in some form of fashion. One of the brothers, not necessarily a back and forth, but I'm surprised to see the brother even in the fray. you know, because again, a lot of us actually are too old for that, you know, and instead of participating in that, we're supposed to be, again, there should be, you know, this sense of obligation from individuals, you know, that would lead them, guide and direct them to do something other than what everybody else is doing, you know. And these brothers then been through the fire, you know, hardened like steel, man, been through the fire, man. And yet this is what, you know, we see as a result of mingling in that space, that reactionary space, you know, that space where you see a lot of funk and BS amongst brothers. I'm surprised, again, it's a few brothers I'd be surprised to see, you know, not necessarily with the back and forth, but just with the, you know, the whole wanting to put it out there, you know, it's content mentality, you know, I didn't put it out there, it's out there, so I'm gonna use it, you know, type of mentality. You know, for a lot of these brothers, man, just honestly, truthfully speaking, a few of them I know, and you'd expect more from them, you know. You know, again, these brothers, you know, ain't nothing to laugh at, you know what I mean? Them been through them been through it. Them been through it. And here they are, man, with this. Come on, y'all. Come on. I would love to see those brothers again. You know, I put this challenge out more than a month ago. Go a day. Go a day. All your content in one day, be on some positivity about Black unity, about brothers and sisters coming together. Just one day. No matter what the content is, let's see if you can do that without dropping the BS in it. One day. You know, you may not get as many hits, you know, as you normally would when, you know, you drop that mess, but one day, and then see how you feel. See how, you know, go back and look at it. Listen to yourself when you talk about being positive, about representing Blackness, representing the people, the marginalized, you know, the minority. Check that out, man, after you drop that, and see what you think about yourself. You know, listen to yourself. You know, you might get something from it. You may want to do it again. That's the hope, right? At least that's the gambit I'm throwing out there. You know what I mean? That's what the challenge is about. You know, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Try that. Try that. Because right now, man, you know, at this junction, man, brothers are just at each other, and they find any old reason to, I don't know, they call it clickbait and all this other stuff they're doing, man, for content. This shit is weird, man. It's weird. And this is coming from grown men, most of who have families, sons and daughters, maybe even grandkids. How does it make sense? How it makes sense, you know? Um, for some of you, make a few dollars, but is that worth it? You know, try another way, man. That's all I'm suggesting. And again, I'm not here to make nobody do a dang thing. I just know that I need to make sure I'm on point. You know, it's just a suggestion. It's a challenge, but it's a, you know, a suggestion at the same time. See what that look like, brothers. See what that look like. All right. But Alonzo, yeah, man. Uh-huh. You said glad you're here, Henry. Peace to you and yours. There you go. So I take it Henry's a known individual. Hey, man, small world, man. Small world. Ain't no telling. Alonzo probably got you up in here, and if that's the case, land love him for that, respect him for that. All right. Raku Fu said, man, word for the day is provocative. Oh, we hear a lot of that provocative BS on the internet, don't we? Man, good word, good choice of a word for the vocabulary today. Provocative. You know, hey, man, I tell you, I don't get it. I don't. It may not be for me to get, but what I do get is that, man, it don't serve anybody. Ain't nobody getting nothing from it. Again, you got a few guys swearing down. They walking away with Fort Knox. You know, that's how big the bag is. But, you know, truth be told, man, you know, we know better. I'm going to tell you from the jump, nah, man. But there's more to this, man, than meets the eye, man. And for you brothers that's doing that, man, listen, hey man, there's more to be gained from being positive, especially in terms of your communities, your families. There's a lot more to be gained from that, man, than what you are doing now, because we all know what you're doing now, the result of that is never good. It's never good, man. It's gonna, somebody gets hurt, somebody suffers, somebody's impacted by this BS every day. And then we got these kids, they hear this back and forth, this arguing amongst each other. They see the hate, the disdain amongst brothers, the disrespect. And guess what? They mimic that stuff. They mimic it. Brothers are not going to be able to heal, man, from past transgressions or wrongs other brothers committed to one another if this is all brothers of sin. I understand that for a lot of us, it's going to be hard to reconcile losses that's been suffered in families. I get it. I'm one. Again, I don't be just talking out the side of my neck, man. We had a big family. We have a big family. We've lost not just my brother, we lost cousins to this stuff. So yeah, man, there's hurt involved. There's trauma. There's a lot of pain. But there's also, man, I think a need for healing, and brothers got to get to that point where we start healing, man. Otherwise, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And we need to make sure that we are in a position to prevent that. That's what a brother's role should be. That's what a man's role is supposed to be, man. Prevention, protection, providing, helping the family to grow, creating a foundation for it to stand on, that sort of thing. What we see taking place in the community, especially on social media, all these brothers involved, that is totally opposite. That's the opposite of what needs to be or what should be, taking place. So again, I tend to stay out of that mess because that's not my field. You know what I mean? I'm not in that lane. Been there, done that. And I'm gonna tell you, man, hey man, that's some hurtful stuff. And it stays with you. It'd be a lifetime just getting over a lot of, what, a lot of us committed in terms of wrong, being corrupt, treating our people any kind of way. Takes a lifetime to get over that, man. Worse than shaking a habit, that's going to be with us, man. But there's a way, and I'm not about to say, oh, the way is through Christ and all that. No, the way, man, it's internal. You brothers got to go within, man. And you got to find that spot. You got to find, that source that will allow you to forgive and allow yourselves to be forgiven. A lot of brothers, when we talk about them not wanting to forgive, the losses they suffered, the trauma the family went through, the impact of a loss. A lot of brothers hold on to this pain, I think, because a lot of brothers, in a lot of ways, they feel guilty. They are guilty. They're guilty. Rather than being there protecting those individuals, making sure that they live, brothers spurred this behavior on. We got consciences, man. A lot of brothers want to act like they don't. Sisters too. But our souls, man, are such, there's nothing like us, man. Spiritually, especially. A lot of brothers won't forgive because, see, it's a matter of them forgiving themselves first. May had a lot to do with the losses that everyone in this city, man, all over this country may have had in, that person not being here no more. A lot of us blame ourselves, but we haven't got to the point where we know how, or we've gotten to the point where we can forgive ourselves. That's where it starts from. That's where it starts from. Yeah, you're not going to be able to forgive nobody till you're able to forgive yourself for whatever role you played in that. You dig? It's just like the love thing. You can't love me, man, if you don't love yourself. There's nowhere in the world you can help me if you don't know how to help yourself first. That's what this shit boiled down to, man. And brothers don't want to get over Losses. We've all suffered them. I got homeboys to this day that it took many losses. Families, man, to this day that it took many losses. No one's won. No one has been exempt, man, from this pain, you know, this trauma, the impact of a loved one leaving, not being here anymore. You know, no one is exempt from that. No one's 1 up, 2 up, 3. That's all cap, man. We all are suffering as a result of our behavior, you know, and what makes this behavior continue, you know, what spurs it on is the fact that a lot of brothers won't allow themselves to be forgiven, will not forgive, you know. That's where it starts from. Self first. That's the whole push, man. This whole get down, man, it's about us, the individual first. The individual first. If you can't do nothing with yourself, you can't do nothing with nobody else, man. That's the truth. All right. So let's start finding ways, you know, or means to, you know, forgive ourselves. To forgive ourselves, you know, for whatever involvement we may have had in the demise of loved ones. A lot of people, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, you did. Just think about it. Just think about it. All of us. We had a hand in this stuff, you know. Rather than say, hey, no, bro, we'll want, you know, A, B, or C. We say, yeah, man, yeah. You know, F this, F that, F them. You know, we all play a role in this, man. And we all gonna need to play a role in getting this stuff together, man. That's just facts. That's facts. It seems to be more of us out there willing to see this thing continue than, you know, there is those of us who want this shit to end, because we see there's no win in this, man. For no one. For no one, at least not us. You know, we're not winning. You know, in so many different respects, man, we're taking losses, not just in terms of life. All right. Real stuff. We don't have prisons. We don't have cemeteries, mortuaries. We don't do none of that. But most of our people are in them, go through them, you know. Something to think about, man. Something to think about. Lonzo said, man, we don't promote bees on touching bases. Real spit. Real spit. All right. There that is, man. Hey, Antonio, again, man, salute. Aha. Rakufu said, man, life is a process of continual evolution, family. Don't get caught up in one stage. Continue the process, and you'll see in time, from a caterpillar, you'll manifest into a beautiful butterfly. We're talking about growth. We're talking about, yeah, man, evolution. You know, this metamorphosis. That's what I think I've been going through, you know, and I think my change is superb. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. I appreciate it, you know. I appreciate it. Hip brother Bub in the game. And I ain't got no issues with it. You dig? You know, I'm secure with me. I'm secure with me, you know, but that is the process, man. Evolution, you know, evolution. That's it, man. And that's part of the problem. We're not evolving naturally. We're changing. And it's an unnatural change that's taking place amongst our people, man. This shit is manufactured and we're allowing it. Again, we got brothers, man, they pushing this stuff, man. You know, they're doing the work of the, you know, the devil, for lack of a better term. All right. You know, they're doing the work of the enemy. We've made ourselves the enemies of each other, when the real fact of the matter, the real enemy is behind the scenes, smiling and profiting. Come on, man. Y'all don't, for you brothers who are doing what you do, y'all don't see no wrong in that. You know, and again, you know, me, it's beyond me to be naming names and all this stuff. I will say, one Adam 12 and VPAD, do, you know, worst people in the world, if you ask me. But then again, you can only blame or want to complain about something just so far, especially when you see, okay, man, all they did was set up the apparatus, sat back, say a little something, you know, and watch brothers take it and run with it, you know. So who do you blame? You know, we understand the machinations, the plot, you know, of this whole apparatus, man. If you don't, you should. It's not to build the community. It's not to empower the community, to see the community excel, to see brothers live, flourish, be free. Nah, it's the opposite, all that. And we got brothers participating with that. Again, this is nothing new. This is nothing new, you know. However, man, when's enough of this stuff enough? Knowing what we know, when is this enough, man? When is doing the people harm, selling them out, man, for pennies, man, enough? Come on, y'all. Real spit, all right? Real spit. Alonzo said, man, that's beautiful, Rakufu. Yeah, that was deep, bro. James said, man, don't mind me, bub, but F. Charleston, I didn't see it because I don't care to. But I heard that clown idiot disrespect the late, great Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Only busters speak ill of the dead. I agree. You know, I agree with you in that respect, especially when those individuals, as far as we know, done nothing wrong, not just to us, the people, but anyone else. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter, there's all kind of accusations going around about everybody. You see it on YouTube all day, every day, right? All day, every day. Brothers would take any opportunity to spread some about another brother. And, you know, the sad part about it, you have somebody on the other end hearing this garbage, would take it and run with it. No proof. You haven't been validated, haven't been vetted, nothing, but they'll take it and run with it, you know. CW's take on, you know, let's say Kobe, let's say Nip, you know, and other individuals, man, yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. I don't agree with that. I never will agree with something like that. You know what I mean? Why he does it, I don't know. I don't know. You know, why a lot of brothers do what they do, I don't know. You know, and you know, for the most part, I'm not gonna rack my brain too much trying to figure it out, trying to analyze, you know, why, you know, some brothers would do some of the harmful shit or harmful things they do, you know. So yeah, man. Rakufu said, man, let me know if y'all saw Felon 2008 or Shot Caller 2017. Shot Caller I did see. You know, wasn't too pleased with that, you know, and only because, you know, me, you know, been there and done that shit. You know, that shit is not, you know, if not, must watch. All right, there you go, right there, man. Hulan the Survivor. Welcome back. I recognize the name. He said excellence, man. Appreciate that, bro. Right back to you. Excellent that the fact, you know, you're here again. That's excellent. Excellent thought patterns and behavior. You know, there you go. What it do, Raymond Skull? Peace, prosperity, bro. You already know. You and the fam, you know, and shouts out to the Rays, man. All those good brothers over there. I just watched Crazo drop some the other day. I went in and commented on it. Powerful, powerful stuff. You know, I left a question for him. You know, I want to see if I get an answer from him. I got his number. I need to call him. But it actually pertained to, and I mentioned the bro Crazo because he on some positive stuff. He don't hide from that. You dig? He gets it. You know, he's just one of many. It just, you know, there are a lot of us, man, who get it. We see what happened. We see the damage, the harm we've caused or helped to create, you know. But this brother, you know, again, this is another brother that don't get or who is not allowed in the algorithm. You dig? Good brother. Been through the fire, you know, made it. He is, you know, and what he pushing, man, need to be commended. All right. So yeah, hey, Raymond Squad, checked him out the other night. And yeah, I went in, commented, you know, because I always do when I read or hear, you know, positivity, especially when it concerns, you know, the improvement or empowerment of the people. So he did that, man. I like to think you know, that, you know, he will, you know, contact me soon enough. Not out calling, just see how he doing first and foremost. But something in terms of brothers like himself and others coming together and bringing something to the people, man. Bringing something to the people, man. You know, this is cool, you know, but imagine if we did it, you know, on a get down where there's more than one or two of us and we're having dialogues and discussions, man, that matter, that pertains to, again, the empowerment, the well-being, you know, the unity of the people. This is what we're missing. You know, them dudes, they can get together. They'll sit at this table with, you know, with the devil, and they'll have conversations all based around negativity. They out there too with it. You know what I mean? Some play both ends between the middle, what we call straddling the fence. You know, either you in or you out. You know what I'm saying? My thing is we need brothers. Well, brothers need to get together, man, and, you know, hey, push this thing, man. Push this thing for the betterment of our people. So yeah, man, that's what that's about with the brother Crazo, man. Again, man, a lot of respect to him for sure, for sure. And there are others, no doubt. There are others, you know, but he hasn't been one that I've seen who straddles the fence, you know. So appreciate that. All right. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm hearing that the thing looking kind of blurry over there. Okay. Hopefully that, yeah, a little bit. I see it. Hold on, everybody. I don't know what the problem is. This thing here. Excuse me. Okay, there you go. All right. But yeah, that's what I mean. You know, when I say, man, hey, there are brothers, there are individuals who see what's happening and who, in their way, their own way, let it be known this ain't cool. You know, they'll speak on some positivity, which is the thing to do. You know, and then we got those brothers who, hey, man, they do what they do. They okay with the situation. Brothers, though, like Crazo and others, man, yeah, it would be, I think, a grand thing to sit together and have some discussions, some dialogues that, you know, would bring, you know, insight and positivity to the people, you know, give them something to unify around, you know, other than something to tear each other down with, you know. So, hey, Raymond Skull, man, again, peace and blessings, bro. You say Grand Rising, bud. Peace and blessings to you and your family, bro. I trust you are all well. Yes, we are. A major shout out to my brothers and sisters in the Royal Group congregation. Yes, sir. Right back to you, bro. Right back to you. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Raymond said, Queen Nzinga said, hey, shout out from the RGC, Henry. All right. Raymond Scott said there's too much time being wasted on YouTube speaking about inconsequential matters. All right. Which is true. We need to break the mental shackles of the prison identity. All right. We're in society now. We must live in the here and now. Hey, hit the nail on the head with that one. That makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't like this, man. I'm looking at my phone and there is a blur to my screen. I don't know what that is. And I'm of the mind. I get fixated, man. OCD in a lot of ways about something. And I won't leave it alone until I figured out, okay, what the problem is, you know. So I'm trying to regulate this, see if I can get that right. I don't know what that is. Shit. I hate that. And it's getting hot in here. Hold on. So my stepson went to the store and he grabbed this. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know who made it per se, but there's information on the back. I appreciated it. You know, I said, let me keep this, man. I want to Yeah, I see that blur on my screen. It's gonna be hard to see. Yeah, more love, more life, man. All right. That's what it says. Breaking barriers and building unity, no color lines. So this is from Brother Hakeem Mohammed, all right, creative director. Now, I got this and I figure he put this out. My stepson grabbed this from a store and he put it out for a reason. So for anybody who might want to, check him out, it's called morelovemorelife.com. Check him out, man. Check him out. All right. Check him out. That would be Patrick Nicholson, Hakeem Mohammed, Reggie L7. All right. These are three brothers put this together, man. I think that's a good look. We need more of this out in the communities, man. We need to see more of this on YouTube, and that's become a fixture in the office. I will have that in here from now on. But yeah, man, this is what it's about, man. Unifying. All right. Unifying. Straight up, man. All right. Raymond said, man, Raymond Scott said, man, with all our solid brothers on YouTube, we affect change and redirect thought processes and set positive trends. We have this gravitational pull about ourselves. So true, but we need to do more, I think, to make this thing, man, augment the gravity, the field, the gravitational pull, the force of it. You know what I mean? Because we want to draw them in, man. We need to save as many brothers and sisters as we possibly can. What the hell? I do not want to unplug my shit, man, because I swear if I do, I'm going to lose you guys, and I don't want to do that. This thing is blurry to me. Super blurry. So I apologize for that, y'all. I don't know what that problem is right now. Hold on. Let me see something. Nope, that didn't help. Nah, that ain't help. All right, so bear with me, y'all. All right, I see you, Smoke. You say Grand Rising, everybody. Right back to you, bro. Peace and prosperity, you and the fam. Good to see you amongst us again. Raymond said, man, now I still have my attachment to this lifestyle, but I understand I've been my own worst enemy. So no other member is my enemy, or do I pose an imminent threat to any black man? Again, see, I think though, for a lot of us, man, we accept and respect, our lives, how we came up, and in a lot of respects, we also respect and we still love the communities we come from, because I think that's because we see the potential in the community, more than the damage, that we see coming from them. I always say, man, I love my community. I just don't like what's going on in it. I don't like what I see. I don't like the behavior, and change need to come over there as well. That goes for everywhere though. All right. I know who my enemy is, and I had to first learn that I was my own worst enemy. The real enemy initially was me, myself, and I was my own worst enemy, and it took for me to learn me to recognize that, hey man, I'm my own best friend before I'm my own best enemy. It was my way of thinking. It was my thought processes that led me to know, or led me to behave the way I did, that made me my own worst enemy. All right. So that was a process I had to go through, went through it. And in fact, I still go through, I'm still evolving, but it's in a good way, So I appreciate you saying that, Raymond Scott. That's some tight stuff, man. That's tight. You also say, man, so I can't regress, but must continue to progress and help curtail the destructive elements in our communities that I played a role in. And that's our work. Again, a lot of brothers may not agree, from the older ones to the ones in the middle, and one, they may not agree that that's their obligation. See, it's the same obligation we paid to the set, to the gang, to the hood, that contributed to the destruction, you know, to all the stuff that's wrong about our community. It was that same, with that energy, that attitude, that mindset we employ, you know what I mean, to do whatever we did. We could do the same thing on a positive note now. We can do that, man. It's not hard. You know, I think it's just a matter of dedication, you know, a matter of whether or not we're willing to do this. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I always say, hey, man, do it like you did when you was in the streets. You know, on this level, though, it's more beneficial. You know, there's nothing destructive about this. You know, yeah. I see you up in there, B6. He said, man, brother and sisters are words of endearment. Brother and sister are words of endearment. It is an honor to be addressed as brother or sister. It means you have my best interest at heart. See, there that is, man. And again, you guys see, that comes from that individual, or those individuals, that brother, that sister who addresses a brother and a sister in that manner. That comes from, and it only can come from that brother and sister recognizing, realizing that they love themselves first and foremost. And as a result, damn, man, I ain't got nothing but love for my brother and sister as well. I think that's the truth of the matter. You know, we've eliminated, you know, all those things that affect, that affect us in a negative light, you know, that makes us want to say, hey, ninja, hey, B, you know, that's the opposite. When it's like that, that's not love, man. You know, that's not a consideration or respect for someone who's just like you. And if you don't have that for that individual, then no, of course you don't have it for yourself. But when you address a brother and sister in that respect and you mean it, there's love, man. That's love. That's love. Yeah, you got that individual's best interest at heart. I think because there's a reflection, you know. Some of us may see ourselves in that brother or sister, you know. So we would treat them the same way we would treat ourselves, you know. Straight up, man. Raymond said, man, yes, if one don't evolve with the time, stagnation, arrested development, and destruction is the result. No doubt about that. But I'm gonna get, I want to hit y'all off with something, right? Because I did come prepared tonight. Again, man, Timothy, man, he did us a great service. A great service. All right. So much so that I'm gonna make something of it. But I have this there's this thing that's in me to say, man, share this regardless. It's still gonna get put out. I'm still gonna do it, but I want to share this with you guys. All right. And initially, let's see if you get it. I'm gonna speak on it. There are three things I'm gonna bring up. Here's the first one. All right, let's get in here, y'all. Make sure I don't make the same mistakes I was making last time. All right, y'all see this graph? Y'all see that graph? It's called the guiding principle. Focus on the focus. All right. And when you focusing on the focus, the noise can't get in, can't distract you. You know what I mean? That discipline it's laser focus, man. It's sharp, BS can't penetrate it. You know what I mean? But the guiding principle, focus on the focus. This is what, for those of you who don't know, touching bases with the people, this is one of our phrases. Focus on the focus. All right. And for you guys who coming in right now, don't know, this is Under the Groove Podcast. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this. Get down, you guys. We need to be up in here, and others like this podcast need to be up in the algorithm. All right. So focus on the focus. Basically, when our focus is broken, is why. It's because we've been distracted. And with distraction comes a whole lot of stuff, man. Confusion, man, procrastination. You can start naming stuff, man. It comes to mind when you're not focused. When you've been distracted from what you're supposed to be focused on, man, a whole lot of other stuff is jumping off in your head rather than or other than what's supposed to be up in there. This is the game. This is the playbook. This is their playbook. It ain't just dividing and conquering. It's about noise. It's about distractions. It's about things, materialism, a whole lot of shit. A whole lot of things. The white gaze is so ingrained in us that everything we tend to do, it's done, it seems, for to satisfy them. We're trying to assimilate so badly, man. Like, hey man, nothing else matters. We need to let them know we down. Hey man, yeah, I'm with you. What you do, I do. What you like, I like. We're looking at things from a white gaze. From we seeing it how they see it when it comes to us. That's wrong, man. Ain't nothing natural about that. But that only is because we've been distracted. Our focus ain't sharp like it should be. We let the stuff get in our head and it distracts us. It turns us. It turns us, man, in the wrong direction. Again, this is negative change. It's nothing positive or natural about what we're doing. All right. But anyway, the noise. All right. All that stuff is intentional, systematic distractions. All right. Social media beefs. All right. Consumerism, internet crash outs, and reactionary outrage engineered to waste our energy. We wasting time and energy, man, on BS. Again, man, ain't none of this shit productive in no form or fashion, man. Again, man, watch these brothers when they on these things, these podcasts, and how they chopping it up. See it for what it really is, man. One, it's embarrassing. It's disgraceful, man. It's undignified, man. It's disrespectful. It has no value, man. None. Listen to what they're saying about each other. Some cold stuff, man. Some cold stuff, But this is part of the problem. This is why we're not able to focus and be where we're supposed to be or get to where we need to be, But see, the discipline, that's the core. We got all this shit going on around us, man. Trying to keep the core off balance, man. That discipline. Our discipline is off balance, man. Discipline, man, is regulated by maintaining laser sharp intention, all right? Refusing to engage in battles that do not serve the community's elevation, but not only the community's elevation, but the individuals as well. That individual that loses focus, that succumbs to the distraction, you know what I mean? That individual as well, he's not being served nothing. She's not being served nothing. They're not getting nothing out of that. Anything worth, anything positive, anything empowering, that's the problem. If it does not build the temple, it is a distraction. And we have to find a way to let the noise fade away. We got to get away from the noise, man. All right. The guiding principle, focus on the focus. That center is the focus. Everything around it is trying to break that center. It's trying to crack it like an egg. Get in there and do away with it, Do away with discipline. Do away with integrity, principles, respect, self-respect, do away with wanting to make sure the family is right. Not just straight, but right. Doing away with protecting the family, providing for the family, helping the family to excel. That's why this attack exists. Crack that core, game won, game over. Some serious shit, man. That's one graph. Here's another one. And this is called the integration illusion. And when we talk about integration and segregation, I'm of the mind that segregation, no matter how they frame it and how a lot of our people saw it, it was actually something that was beneficial to us. Think about it. When segregation was put in place at the Reconstruction, man, you know, and Jim Crow and all that, and they didn't want us nowhere near them. You know, you darkies going over there. What did we do? We went over there and did the damn thing. They tell us about one Black Wall Street when, man, there were hundreds as a result of segregation, as a result of not being bothered or having to deal with them people, right? We excelled. We excelled, man. Facts. That's not an exaggeration. And when they realized they made a mistake by segregating us, what did they do? They came up with integration. And ever since, what? We ain't seen another Black Wall Street or any other street where blacks do the damn thing. Not as a unit anyway. Man, they knew exactly what they was doing. You know, we just didn't get it. We didn't get it. But this graph right here speaks to, you know, this whole get down, the integration illusion. All right. That's some serious stuff, man. So what you see is this funnel. And you see these little bits and pieces. That's wealth right there. And then there's innovation. All right. And our wealth and our innovation is going inside this funnel, you know. And this funnel, I would imagine, was created as a part of this integration thing. Okay, come on in. We're going to funnel you guys' wealth and your innovation into this system. You know, it's going to be beneficial to you. You're going to grow. You're going to develop. You're going to excel way better than you did, you know, suffering through segregation, you know. But we didn't know. Little did we know that was a trick. That funnel had all kind of cracks and holes in it. So they were funneling. We were putting it in and they were funneling it out through the leakages and the cracks, taking our stuff, man, and benefiting on it, leaving us nothing. You know, all these external systems, corporations, you know, benefiting off us. You know, we weren't excelling, but we're giving it our all. We're throwing it all in there. Every bit of what we were. We're putting it in. We bit. Hook, line, and sinker. We bit. The whole time, though, it was a play. It was a play for them to reap the benefits off of our innovations, off of our wealth, you know, off of us as a resource, you know. So the integration illusion, what it does is it creates this thing where, you know, well, you know, we say all the time, you know, a lot of us, we can't see the forest for the trees, you know. That's some real stuff, man. That's part of that distraction stuff we're going through. So we're missing the forest for the trees. Our ideas, our innovations and wealth are zapped from the community and divvied out to the empower, to empower external systems. All right. Brilliance is absorbed. The community is left empty. We putting all this shit in, man, and we reap none of the benefits. We've been played. Integration was a play that benefit them, didn't help us. We've been integrated since what, the 50s? Starting with the schools, you know. Some integration didn't actually take place until the 70s, mid 70s and 80s. And yet, what do we got to show for it? But they can show how they siphon our wealth, our ideas, our innovations. Again, us as a resource. They can show it. But we can't show nothing. There's nothing for us to show for as a result of integrating. This is what they do, man. This is how this play goes down. And to this day, That play that's in their playbook, it's full steam ahead, man. They believe we are locked in. We ain't going nowhere. You know, we ain't going nowhere, man. Shit. All right. The other side of that graph, though, it shows the innovation and wealth, you know, mechanism. All right. The true structural separation. Wealth and innovation circulate internally. That's what it's supposed to have done, even with this thing called integration. You know, in our communities, it's still we're putting all this into this thing. It's supposed to serve us. Now, though we're supposedly integrated into the system, still we're supposed to reap the benefits of this shit, right? Never happened. Never happened. This graph is showing, man, the true structural separation, all right, of innovation and wealth. All right. Wealth and innovation circulate internally. The ecosystem fully funds its own hospitals, schools, and independent media. All right. So integration actually also took that from us. Where's our hospitals? Where are our schools? Where's our businesses and corporations? Where is our independent media? And integration ain't allowed for none of that. Had we had segregation still, though, man, we have the best hospitals in the world, the best schools in the world, the best media source in the world. We'd have it all. This shit is a game, man. It's from a playbook, man, that they utilize on us to keep us out of this shit, man, to keep us out of the system, though they say we're part of it. Only thing that makes us a part of the system is how we consume, you know, how we keep the system propped up. We reap no benefits of it, period. Period. Again, integration has been in play for decades. Where have we benefited? The only time they have a use for us, and that's about to play out, is when it comes time to vote. You know, and we don't get shit for our vote either. We've been integrated though. All right. Integration waters down our capabilities. All right. Integration waters down our capabilities. Integration waters down our capabilities. However, autonomy ensures we own the ecosystem. That's what they took from us when they ended segregation. Our autonomy, you know, our will to create our own hospitals, schools, banks, newspapers, businesses, communities, minds, you know. It's cold shit going on, man. And we sitting up, we playing sucker to this stuff. Again, the white gaze, man, is in full effect. A lot of us don't even want to look away. We like what we see. We enjoy what we're a part of. So what, we're being used. Hey, man, I'm getting a bag, man. And fuck that ninja. Fuck that B. I don't give a, you know, I'm in. You ain't nothing, man, but a sellout. The third one is this. This is what they really don't want us to get a hold of. They really don't want us to understand. They really don't want us to tap into. This is why we see this. They're interfering with the focus. That noise and shit. See, they attack this. This is our focus is attacked so that we don't aspire to this. We're already that, you know. We just don't know it. They know it better than us. Title is we are star people. All right. We've had this conversation. That right there, if you know what you're looking at right there, I'm gonna tell you what that is. Well, before I mention it, hold on, I'm gonna write it down. And I wrote it down first. All right. I wrote it down right here. I ain't gonna let you see it too much. I'm gonna go right now to the comments and let me know if any of you guys know what this is right here. All right. This is what they're attacking. I'm gonna go to all the way to the bottom. Let's see what we got. Come on, y'all. Come on, get up in here. What is that? Oh, hold on. I probably didn't even get shooed. Let me go out of there. I want to bring that in. I hope I ain't been messing up and sharing the wrong shit with you guys. Okay, boom. All right, hold on. I did it again, huh? All right, there you go. No. There you go. All right, y'all see that? And I'm gonna go back to the other one because I got a feeling y'all didn't see it. I'm just rambling, talking. All right, y'all see that? We are star people. This right here, I'm circling it. Can anybody tell me what that is? What that really represents? All right. And if not, I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I ain't gonna let you see it too much. But let me go see what these comments say. Oh shit, it still ain't on there. Now it's there. All right. My bad, y'all. All right, so look. Uh-oh. All right, there you go. All right, so this right here. Them squares and all that. Can anybody tell me what that is? Where's Al, man? Al ain't up in here. All right, what is that? And I wrote it down already. You know, only because I used to study it. All right. I'm gonna give it another couple of minutes. And then I'm gonna go back to this other graph because I don't think you guys saw it. Again, you know, I'll get together. Okay, listen. So this, yeah, this right here, the title says we are star people. All right. This right here, what you see, all these little squares and blocks, that represents the periodic table. All right. That's a representation of the periodic table. Now, and if any of you know what the periodic table is, then you know what I'm talking about. But the periodic table, it consists of all minerals, vitamins, and substances, uranium, plutonium, you name it, gold, silver, platinum, iron, you know, magnesium, vitamins, you know, you get it, right? This represents what we are. This represents what we are. And everything in that periodic table is a part of the cosmos. Not orbit. Fuck orbit. You know, this is as far as they going. But we're talking about the galaxy, man. Universe. That's what this is. The universe is made of this. This is what we're made of. And we can say, factually, we're made of this more than anybody. Again, everybody come from us, right? Facts, right? We come from that. That's a representation of the periodic table. And all it's doing is showing you the breakdown, how it is in every aspect of our human being. You know what I mean? We're star people. And as a result, they don't need us to know this, man. So what do? They distract us. They play games with us. They put shit in front of us. And because, I don't know, man, we don't know any better, man, we fall into this get down. You know, we fall right into the get down. I first got up on it. I'm in prison. And I used to draw kind of, every cellie I ever had would tell you guys this. I used to draw this stuff and put it on the wall. And I called it the wall of knowledge. You know, right before, you know, the wall where the window is in the cell, in the locker. you see where I don't, you know, so that's this wall. It might be a good 2-3 feet from the ceiling to the floor. But I went from the ceiling to the desk. And I would draw also the human body, the skeletal system, the muscle system, organs, the periodic table, the galaxies, you know, and dudes be like, homies, be like, like, homie, this what you consist of. This is you. Just give you action at it. You know what I mean? I ain't forced on nobody. I got loved ones to this day would tell you that, you know, but I had to learn that. You know, they didn't put that in the books. I was never told this going through school. You know, Head Start, elementary, junior high, high school, college. I was never told this. Had to learn this. But this is what we are. This is what we consist of. The galaxy, the universe. The universe, them the galaxy. You know, we come from the universe, you know. But anyway, we are star people. Every molecule in our bodies is found in the cosmos. Everyone. We got poisons in our bodies. A lot of us don't even think or know that we do. Arsenic, uranium, plutonium. It's in us. It's in us. We're like miniature nuclear power plants, you know, full of energy. They don't tell us this shit, man, for a reason. They tell you, oh, your heartbeat, you know, you get this circulation and, you know, you got a few connections in your brain and they're electrical pulses. They're not telling you, man, you are a damn nuclear power plant. You. Real spit, man. You know, they don't want you to know this. They don't need you to know this. With that energy, man, comes knowledge. We were just talking about this Friday, man. There's no greater mathematician on the face of the planet than melanated people. Facts. They have what they have in terms of technology because of those mathematicians who are melanated. Not because they came up with that. Man, no. No, you know. But this is what needs to be understood, man. This is why we're going through what we're going through, because people don't need us to know what they know about us. All right. We are star people, period, point blank. That periodic table right there, it exists in every fiber of our being. Our DNA strands are longer, better, you know, more than any other on the face of the planet. We got stuff in us they ain't got. And I don't care how much they want to mate with us, anything else. You know, they're just not going to have it. You know what I mean? But every molecule in our bodies is found in the cosmos, people. Everyone. All right? One, we are not defined by the labels placed upon us by systematic oppressors. Man, we are not ninjas. We are not bees. Man, we gods, man. We like gods, man. We are, you know, we got the God gene. We are of the universe. That makes us, man, godlike, man. Two, our connection to the universe is biological, all right? Mathematical and spiritual. Shit we talk about all the time. But you're not going to hear this on, you know, where them brothers is acting like buffoons and idiots. You know, where them brothers are disgracing themselves and us. And again, man, you know, we have to admit, some of us, that we was a part of that whole get down. We were less than kings and gods. We were less than, man. You know, some of us are coming into our own now. That should be appreciated by each and every one of you who is, right? But this is what we see. And this, what we seeing is is intentional. It needs to be done. This is what they want, or they design for us to see in terms of our actions, our conduct. You know, they want us to see this. They want us to spread this stuff out. They want it to infiltrate, man. You know. And three, our purpose is to elevate our frequency and build structures worthy of our cosmic origin. When they talk about the pyramids and stuff, to this day, they ain't figured it out. They won't, you know. But that is the greatness of our ancestors who were in tune. See, back then they didn't have the distractions that we have now. You know, they didn't. Why that fell off like it did, it's anyone's guess. I have a theory, but you know, don't matter right now. What we're going through is by design in more ways than one. There's their design, their playbook to keep us benighted, to keep us ignorant, you know, to keep us just blind of our abilities, of who we are. It's real simple shit, man. It's not complicated. You know, this the business right here, man. This the business, man. Part of what they done to us was took our identity. We don't know where we came from. You know, it's a lot of speculation, a whole lot being said about it, man. One thing is for sure, though, what we consist of only exists one other place. That's in the universe. Facts. You know? So think about it, man. While we got brothers and sisters acting like buffoons, acting less than gods, man. While we got that going on, man, the rest of us, man, we sitting idly by watching this stuff. You know, and not only that, a lot of us who aren't being idiots in that respect are still not taking advantage of opportunities, man, to get to the know of the situation. This is who we are. We are star people. I'm going to hear a lot. All right. That's fine. That's fine. But I just expressed something to you that I didn't make up. I didn't make it up. It's there in our face. The evidence is already, it exists, man. We just got to want to see the forest for the trees. You know? That's the point. That's the point. That's what's going on, man. So when we see brothers and sisters acting less than, man, we have an obligation to correct them. You know, slap them on the wrist. Hey, man, that hurts us. That don't help us. It hurts you. Don't help you. It hurts yours, your family, all that. You got to let them know. That's our obligation, man. Real spit. You know? That's where we go wrong at. Nobody want to speak truth to power. No one really, really wants to focus on the focus. Take responsibility. Be accountable. Take ownership, man, of our existence. Not the individual lives, man, but the unit. The unit. Real spit, man. I'm going to go back to this other one because I know I skipped it unintentionally. But let me bring that back up in here. All right, let me bring that back up in here because, again, this stuff it's good stuff, man. Again, Timothy did the damn thing, man. And this is all based on previous conversations we've had, you know? I just think it's some powerful stuff, man. I just think it's powerful stuff. Let me make sure I get the right one in there. Okay, which one did I do? Oh, shit, I didn't forget which one was which. Did true. Oh, okay. Hold on then. No, it ain't that one. It's going to be this one. All right. Let me drop this one in here. And no, I think we did that one, right? I think I did that one. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. Sorry about that, y'all. I think it's this one. Yeah. Yeah, it's this one. All right. So that being said, let me go in and make sure it's in there. There we go. Let me read some of this, man. Yeah, man. Salute to Timothy, man. For real, for real. For real, for real. And I was talking about it the other night in terms of what his craft is, his skill. And I said, no, I ain't gonna say nothing, let it, no, man, got to honor him and applaud him. The brother is involved in the film industry. He's going to school to be in the film, he's studying film, his ambition is high, man. You know what I mean? The man got some ideas, and we can't wait till he's done. We can't wait till he's done, very intelligent brother, Hey man, life is good, man. I don't know no other way to put it other than that, we got some good brothers, man. We got some intelligent brothers and sisters in this life that we're living in, man, that can help bring the evolution to people so sorely need, damn change, their change. Damn, this unnatural process is taking place. We need the natural get down, that organic get down. That's what we're missing, man. That's why we're in the position we're in. No one wants to be organic. We're functioning off some made up stuff, man, that they provide and put out there for us, man. And we eating this shit up. We're eating it up, man. Let me read some of these comments right quick, man. But damn, I didn't know it was that many. Hold on. I don't know how far to go. All right. Damn, I don't know where to go, man. I mean, y'all been putting this shit in there like that. Okay, there we go. Found it. All right, I'll start here, man. James is saying both are to blame, but it's business to both parties. Although the brothers always get the shorter end of the stick and get effed over, okay? The other clown sits back and laughs with his dollars. Hey, Lonzo said, man, fire Raymond. I agree, bro. Peace to you and your family, bro. There y'all go, man. Send that love out there. Again, y'all, this is Under the Groove Podcast. Like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to this. Get down, y'all. Ain't nothing else like it. We need more like it. We need more like it. Lonzo says, man, yo, bro, I tell all my youngsters a real G takes care of his family first. Love and respect their lady. That's the best advice I can give them. There you go. Roscoe said, man, I sometimes remain silent in the group because of our royal group brothers and sisters have great wisdom too that I draw from. Sometimes it's best to listen. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Lonzo said, man, a real man ain't about breaking the law just to break it. You go on to say, Alonzo, always best to look, listen, and observe. You're absolutely right, bro. I just found my voice after getting out of prison before I barely said a word. LOL. We focus on the focus, y'all. Lisa Moore said, King Roscoe, man, I subscribe to your channel, brother. And you got good contacts. I'm looking forward to it. Tune in. I'm looking forward to tuning in more often. Yeah, as we all should, man. Support this brother. It's informative and educational, and it's chock full of history. So yeah, get in there. Lonzo said, man, I had to teach myself how to communicate verbally in a better way, and I learned a ton in prison for me to try and speak more. All right, appreciate that. Hulana Survivor, he said 100. And Lonzo said, man, I had to expand my vocabulary. Plus, I was in the library. I had a thesaurus and everything. LOL. Yeah, man, that was the main. When it came to books, there were two books you had to have before anything else. That was a dictionary and a thesaurus. Real spit, man. Real spit. Smoke said, man, they are talking from a pointless view that serves no remedy for the hood. Facts. True that. Lonzo said, man, I'm much more I'm much more able to explain my thoughts better now. And Roscoe said, Raymond Scott says, Stokely Carmichael said it best. Pushing for what's ours doesn't mean assimilating into a society we've been oppressed in. We have a gain. We have a gain progress. We have to gain progress on our own and by our own strength. Unity is our power. You know, and Stokey was spitting, man. Him and that brother, man. Him and Fred Hampton, man, they put it out there. Lonzo said, man, I read a book that said you would succeed in life depends on how well you communicate. All right. Yeah, we talk about communication all the time amongst the people. That's what we lack. You know, we aren't exercising communication. You know, we either don't know how to communicate with one another or is afraid to communicate with one another, just don't want to communicate with one another. In either respect, it does us no good. You know, it adds to the issue. It's a part of this thing that's in place that's against us. So when we stay closed mouth and we're not sharing, we're not communicating, that means, you know, having conversations, having dialogues, debates, you know, discussions, then man, we're doing ourselves a disservice. We got to do that more. You know what I mean? We have to be able to communicate on whatever level. And if you don't have the wherewithal, the knowledge, or informed enough to speak about something, it's fine to sit and listen, you know, observe audibly. You know, you want to be able to hear it so that you can get it. You know, that's another aspect of observation, to be able to listen, you know, as well as see, you know, as well as partake in. There's so many different ways to get involved. If we don't know something, man, it's fine to sit back and learn. Listen, I tell you, I do it every day. I learn something new every day. Just listening. I got people think I don't listen. I listen all the time, though. I do. Anyway, James said, man, losing focus of the focus will only leave you lost and hopeless. There you go. There you go. All right. And we're going to get to this, man. All right, Bam, I see you up in here, man. Peace and prosperity, brother. Good to see you amongst us, you know, and hanging out, touching bases with the people. That's what we do. That's what we do, man. All right. Real spit. Yeah, Raymond Scott says, man, they fear segregation because only then can we build and strengthen our resources financially, education-wise, medical-wise, our own politics, etc. Integration weakened us drastically. It took away ownership, autonomy. That's what it did. That's exactly what it did. You know? That's exactly what it did. And Raymond Scott goes on to say, and our people can't even see it. We don't need assimilation with other people. We must find a way to build ourselves collectively. That's right. Alonzo, I guess you're coming up on, so you say, oh, okay, now I do. Yes, we have all the elements inside of us. Okay, yeah. Quinn and Zinga said, for me, it's the illusion. It's the illusion we have become to believe that we are a part of something that's not for us. And again, y'all, that, you know, just take into account for real. See, they tell us this all the time, that we're part of this, and we're really not. We're just fodder in this system. We keep the system up. The system, this society was built on our backs. All right. It stands on our backs. We are its foundation, you know. But here's to prove that point. And I said this just recently. When you go and read the Constitution, see what it say about us. That right there tells all. It tells all, you know. So check that out. If we're considered just 3/5, and it's been in there since they wrote the whole thing, it's been in there 200 and what? How many years they're celebrating? The celebration for this country is coming up 250 years, something like that. It's been in there that long. They haven't changed it, amended that. That should tell us something. It's still in there. This 2026, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. Raymond Scott said, so we're as one cosmically. Yeah. Cosmically, we're one. We're one with the universe, man. And no one else can even say that. Again, man, there's a reason why we are going through what we're going through, why we're in this position. There's a reason for it. And again, I do have a theory. One day we'll get to that. But for them, it's necessary. It is imperative that they keep us shackled. And they're coming to realize that that's not enough. So now they're attacking the soul. Now they're going to the heart of the matter. Again, it's about, the cosmos. It's about spirituality. You know what I mean? There are all these different factors that make us gods. They know, and they don't need us to know this stuff, man. We come from the universe, first and foremost. All this other stuff they be talking about, all right, amen, okay. Okay. Fact is also, we populated this thing, man. Everybody come from us, where we come from. I got theories. I promise you guys, and they make sense. Been working on them for a long time, but yeah, we'll have that discussion one day. But anyway, yeah, man, the periodic table represents our composition. Just simple as that. The periodic table represents our composition. Everything that they use in technology now, in machines, in phones, laptops, all this stuff, all those minerals and all those, them rare earth mineral, all that, every bit of that, man. We consist of every bit of that. It is our composition. What makes us us, So there that is, man. All right. We are the Most High special people. Hey, when they tell that story that they were the chosen ones, they're lying. It's a full-faced lie, man. And they're only able to do that because we don't know any better. And they've made that their objective, that we don't know any better, man. We cannot know. Like they say, so you hear this, in the news today with the United States, Israel, and Iran. We will not allow them to have nuclear weapons. That's what they said about that. We will not allow these blacks to know who they are. We'll kill them off, or we'll find a way to have them kill each other before they find out, That's the plan, I think, That's the plan. Yep, we got to tap into our source, man. Alonzo said, man, it's not complicated. The devil make things complex to confuse. We must stay away from all doubt and confusion. All right. Strictly stand on science, facts, and truth. That's it. You're going to say fire show, bud, man. I appreciate that, bro. Again, though, there you go. Salute to Timothy. And I, I'm not ashamed to say, when he presented this to me, my spirit, it didn't cry out, man. It just opened up, it just, there was a joy that, hey, man, I can't express it verbally. You know what I mean? That's just, what it did to me. I'm better for it, and I like to think that he is as well, steel, sharpening steel, man. Shit is real, y'all. Smoke said, man, did you get the phone line up set up to accept calls during the live? Yes, I did. Where that thing at? Oh, shit. Oh, I remember what I did the other day. I messed up my toolbar. I erased everything. Had to go and put everything back. But yeah, I do have that. And I tell you what, tomorrow night, it'll be set up. We tried this before. Nobody called in. That's fine. We're going to do it again because it's time. It's time our brothers and our sisters, you kings and queens, gods and goddesses, man, start tapping in the word. We need to, hey, man, let's do what it do. We need this. We need this. So I'll set it up. It'll be ready, good to go tomorrow. All right. Ancestors willing, grand rising occurred, all that be front and center. It will be front and center. All right. Henry says, man, OG Bub, you got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, knowledge of self, self-educated, great live episode, OG. And let me say, man, I appreciate that, but that's a little much. Again, I'm still evolving, man. I can't begin to tell y'all. So I find out every day there's something that I haven't released to let go of, you know, every day, man. Every day. I have to check myself. Hey, man, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And it strikes me that, well, I'm struck by the fact that, man, there is so much stuff, man, embedded in our brains, man, that we have to dig deep, man, to start extracting this shit. We have to relearn everything, or most everything we've learned, man, especially from them. We have to be re-educated. And I'm in that process, man. I'm being re-educated. You know, some shit I do, I say, man, that ain't manly. That ain't cool. That's not a, hey, man, that I'm telling you, man. So yeah, now you saying that means a lot. I appreciate it. But bro, like all of us, we're working. See, our work ain't gonna be done till we're gone, till it's done. You dig? So that means, man, I'm still developing, man. I'm still evolving. I can't wait, man, to get to that point, man. But then again, that would, you know, that I don't think there's a climax like that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's meant to be that way. You know, this is a process that very well may continue to go along even after I'm gone. As far as I know, we're from the universe. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't subscribe to heaven and hell. Just not something I do. But this, hey, man, this is a force. This is a force. And it don't just die. It just doesn't. You know? It's a force that's even unseen. You know? We don't know. I want to, you know, and not in that respect, everybody. Don't get me wrong. You know, I've come to love my life, and I've come to love the life with the woman I'm with. You know, I don't want that to go nowhere yet. You know what I'm saying? We sit up and promise each other, you know, we're going to 100, close to it, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, growth in its natural order, you know, that's ours, man. That's ours. So the same way that you would commend and honor me, the same apply to you, bro. That's yours. You know, and I should live to see or have that moment when I say to Henry, hey, man, damn, bro, I honor you, man. You're a wise, intelligent brother. You got the force, man. You know, it's in you, you know, that's to get out. And again, man, that should go for each and every one of us. Everybody ain't down, though. So we got to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of that, man. But you also have the ability. It's in you. You're wired like that. We're wired like that, man. You know, the knowledge of self, you know, the wisdom, understanding, you know, self-respect. And again, these are processes, man, that are ongoing. They don't stop today. They don't stop when you think you figured it out. Nah, man, this thing is continual. You know, man, it's infinite, man. It's not finite. It's infinite. You know, straight up, man. But I appreciate that, man. Absolutely, OG. He says 100 to me, 100 me to brother. All right. Still learning and still growing. That's your work, you know. All right, Smoke. What you talking about, man? I can help you become an ordained minister right now and help you get a 508 C1A tax-free ministry afterwards. And me and the wife were talking about that as well. You know, I'm not, yeah, and I understand why, you know, that's fine, you know. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. You know, this thing, man. Oh, let me drop this right quick before we go, because I would like for y'all to see this, because this was the part I think I was talking about, and I forgot to bring it on the screen. I'm just yammering and shit. My bad. So right here, man. When I was speaking about the segregation thing and them dummies realizing, oh shoot, we shot ourselves in the foot, going back over there and stop the segregation. We can't have that. Too many of them are starting their own towns and communities and banks and schools and hospitals. Too many. Segregation has worked against us. Let's go in there. We're gonna stay racist. We're gonna remain bigots. But we got to stop this segregation, because hey, man, if we don't, they're going to take over. They saw the writing on the wall, man. And I'm pretty sure our people did too. Our people understood, hey, man, woo. You know, play the game with them. Oh, the damn segregation. And the whole time they doing a jig. Yeah, you dumb crackers. You know. They realized, though, that they made a mistake. They realized it. After about maybe, you know, as long as they had did it, you know, again, there was the emancipation, get down, man. Then there was Reconstruction, and there was Jim Crow and all that. You know, they had been segregating us anyway. You know what I mean? As soon as, you know, the order came down, or at least that's what we think it was, brothers and sisters, them kings and queens said, it's our time now. Let's go. Let's build. Let's show them how it's done. And they did that. They did that. And it's why you had this exodus from the south to the north and to the west, you know? People like, hey, man, hey, man, watch how we do, man. Not being under your boot. And they did the damn thing. And then people said, oh, shit. No, we got to stop this. We got to include them. But it's going to be a catch, y'all. We're going to include them, but we still going to keep our mindset. We still going to treat them the way we're going to treat them. We're going to continue to lynch them. We're going to make sure they don't get nothing. You know, we're going to bring them in, but we're going to take everything they got. And we're going to bring back slavery, and they ain't going to know it, because we're going to do that different too. That's what they did. That's what they did. They created this idea, this thing called integration. And they told us, okay, man, we're going to include y'all. Y'all can be part of the program, you know, a little bit, you know, and just show y'all, you know, in good faith, we'll let few of y'all go to our schools. You know, we ain't going to let you drink out our water yet, though. Hold on. We ain't going to let you eat with us yet. Hold on. You know, we ain't going to let you vote just yet. Hold on. But we're going to bring you in little by little. In fact, we're going to make sure you come in, because we're going to destroy everything you done built. We're going to knock this stuff down. We don't want no remembrance of none of this. We don't want none, you know, none to remind us just how able you guys really are. This is excellence beyond anything we ever imagined about you guys. You know, can you imagine that shit? That conversation in that room, or those many rooms, you know? Yeah, so they created integration, and they gave us the illusion. They sold us this dream that one day we could sit with them, man, you know, and we could share, you know, in prosperity, freedom, you know, that we be judged by not the color of our skin, but by, our character, content of our character. Come on. Nah, man. It's all a dream, man. Yeah, they sold it. They got us, man. We jumped into it. We put our wealth into it, our innovations, you know, the whole nine. We put it into that funnel, to that thing called integration. The whole time, though, it was a play. It was a play. It was a play, man, to strip us of our wealth, to strip us of our ideas, our genius, you know, to own us again. That's what they did. None of that went back to our communities. Integration did nothing for us. Our communities became poor. It was like overnight. Once they destroyed everything our people had built, we were like slaves all over again, living in shacks and shit. You know, that was the game, man. They put so much in front of us, man. We lost sight. We lost sight. We couldn't visualize nothing no more. We realized we got played. And I think that did something. That did a number on our people's psychology, their psyche. That's what I think. That generation was a great generation, man. The ones who lived through segregation and built what they built, did what they did under all that pressure and oppression. They did that shit. We ain't done nothing since, especially since being involved or being so-called a part of an integration. We ain't gave nothing. We ain't created jack for our people. We haven't helped our people, man, in no form or fashion. As a result of integration, man, we help them to tear us down further, to make sure that we never rose again. And look at where we are. Shit, we ain't no unit. That's a dang show. You know, integration, it just allows a few to get a little something, as long as they stay in line. But the majority of us, man, hey, we're the fodder. You know, we are the ones whose backs they stand on. You know, but there that is, man. Integration. It created this thing where we couldn't see the forest for the trees, man. We couldn't. They took our ideas, our innovations, and our wealth. You know, all that was zapped from the community, man, and divvied out to empower external systems. Ain't that what happened? Ain't that how they went in? They took our resources, us, and benefited off of us and gave us nothing back. That's what happened. Our brilliance was absorbed into integration. In other words, they absorbed our wherewithal, man, our gifts, you know, our abilities. They absorbed that all into their system for them and left the community empty with nothing. That's what happened. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Today now, you know, our young minds, man, we again, man, there's no one better on earth thinks better, you know, than the melanated man and woman. Nobody, no better mathematician on the face of the earth, man. But they absorb them into their universities. And guess what? They use them to help them to devise and make up corporations that run the world. Technological advances that could not have been without our people. You know, that's us. And none of that genius is filtered back into the communities. None of it. In fact, they make sure that the individual don't go back. That individual assimilates totally. Totally. Not just in mind, you know, in action or conduct, but nowadays they want to do it in terms of skin. They want to lighten, you know. They don't even call it bleaching no more. You got a new phrase term for it. You know, we see our sisters and brothers lightening now. That white gaze, man, got a hold of them. That's what they see. They have a white gaze from their eyes. But this is what's up, man. But listen, that's the illusion that integration is a good thing and it works for everybody. That's some crap. The truth of the matter is the true structural separation. It only can exist. It'll only come to be is when we decide that our wealth, our innovations, you know, they circulate internally, that they don't lead a community, that they don't lead a people, you know. The ecosystem is fully funds its own hospitals, schools, and independent media. That's the mission, man. That's what it should really be about. That should be our ecosystem. That's what it was back then when they went and destroyed it. All this is saying, hey, man, we got to get back to that. But this time, let's take better care of it. Let's make sure it's stronger than ever. Let's make sure that they cannot destroy it again. It already, you see, this is nothing new. They just want to make sure it don't happen again. This is why we have integration. Integration waters down our capabilities. Integration waters down our capabilities. All right. Autonomy ensures that we own the ecosystem. Autonomy ensures we own the ecosystem. That's what we're supposed to be with this, man. You know, when we see individuals acting the way they acting on social media, man, doing the shit to them, man, they, you know, that's just a watered down version of individuals. They're not who they're supposed to be. In fact, they're actually aiding and abetting the system. They're part of the system. And again, man, a lot of us are guilty of that. Quite a few. A lot of us are guilty of that. But there are more of us who are coming into the understanding that, damn, I went about that wrong. I effed up. And they want to make more than amends. It's more than that, you know. It's more than that. You know, I think there's that is more visceral than just amends. It's more like, hey, man, you know, my soul screams that this is what I do. I need to do this. You know, we have them type of brothers and sisters. They in it for that. You know, come with me, you know. Structural separation. Structural separation, man. They can talk all they want about starting segregation again. They lying. They lying. They are lying. You know, capitals, all capitals, lying. That ain't what they want. They know better. All right. But it should be what we want. We're supposed to know better. You know. All right. I just want to drop that in there, man. I just want to drop that in there, man. We are their resources, y'all. Appreciate that, Queen and Zinga. Henry said trickery and manipulation, oppressors. The white knight syndrome. What it do, Sam Evans? How you doing, brother? Peace and prosperity. Good to see you up in here, man. Good to see you up in here, man. Yeah, this is what it is, though. This is what we're faced with. We're faced with some stuff that, again, is unnatural. And we tend to think in an unnatural sense or respect. That's, you know, for real. For real. You know, a lot of what we do, listen, y'all, a lot of what we think, what we say and do has been manipulated. You know, it's the script at play. A lot of us want to say, hey, man, I'm my own thinker. You know, we all quick to say that. I'll say it quick as hell, my dang self. Fact is, that's not necessarily true, because as long as we're living under their heel, under their boot, as long as we subscribe to integration, that ain't what it is. Ain't none of us living our own lives. Straight up, you know, not a one of us. And sad to say, see, and then, you know, cut to the chase, man, it's not technically necessarily a race thing. We're talking about a system that does this to anybody and everybody, you know what I mean? Just us more than others, you know what I mean? Because we are the greatest threat to their security, to their way of life. And you hear them say this all the time, their way of life, their interest. And when they start saying those type of words, somebody's in trouble. They're about to go in on somebody, you know. That's how important it is to them, you know. And I think because of that, a lot of brothers and sisters understand that. I think it creates this reluctance, you know, to fight the power. You know what I mean? There's a reluctance there, man, because they know what that entails. A lot of us do. You know, we you know, 40 years, 50 years ago, we saw what they did. In the 80s, we saw what they did. We know what they're capable of, you know what I mean? And I think as a result of that, a lot of our people were like, yeah, no, you know, I'm all right. Forget it. I'll just live like this. I'll just go make more money for them and I'll get a little more, you know. I mean, is that living? I don't know. I can't speak for nobody else. I can tell you that I know. Now, I love my life with my wife. I found my soulmate. That's my baby. But our lives, nah, we we know we deserve more. And not deserving in the sense where y'all owe us. Give me no, man. Yeah, no. But release us. You know, we demand that. You know, we demand freedom. You know, and that freedom means more than what they label it nowadays. All right. So that said, man, yeah, facts, Henry. Listen, y'all know the script, man. You know, we don't do this again, man. I don't really do it for hits and likes. To tell the truth, we get some people in here, man. It's their first time. There, go right there. We win. We win. And quiet as kept, the algorithm gives a. They know what's good. The algorithm like, nah, man, we can't. Nah. You know, no. You know, can't let you up in there. You're gonna mess up our thing, man. Yeah, again, that is like that though, because as long as we got individuals who are in the algorithm, who are on this apparatus, who partake in this get out the way they do, as long as we got that, man, hey man, you know, it's gonna be uphill fight. I'm down for that. Like I say, you know, we've been fighting all our lives, and for the most part, for some of the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? So I'm used to warfare. You know, it's just that, okay, man, it's on a whole different get down now, and I'm kind of salivating for this. You know, I kind of want this. You know, yeah. You know, everything I learned, everything I went through, man, is to prepare for now for what's coming. So I'm all in. That being said, listen, man, it's time to go. I smell it. You know, I'm a hungry man. I like to eat. You know, I got to start working out again too, man. Woo. And get it in, you know. You got to get it in, man. Listen, we're star people, man. We are star people, man. We come from the universe, man. Period, point blank, man. Everything about us, man, is cosmic. All right. We are, you know, of the God gene. No doubt about that. They'll admit it too. They have, you know, we are of the God gene. We are the chosen ones. That being said, we need to start carrying ourselves like that. We have an obligation, man. We have an obligation to let our brothers and sisters know, man, that no, this is bad for us. We have to stop this. All right. We'll find a way. And when we do, it'll get done. You know what I mean? So, hey, like Alonzo was saying, man, peace. Big bro, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Peace and prosperity, each and every one of you. It's been a fortunate, very, you know, blessed night. I'll say that freely. All right. Love yourselves, man. You know, love yourselves to the point where you get to know who you are, or you start to work on it. You know, work on knowing who you are, because through that, man, you're going to be able to know who that next individual is. And not only that, you'll be able to love them like you love yourself. Like the brother said, man, Smoke said, man, you know, it was either Smoke or B6 said, man, when we use the word or the phrase brother, my sister, that's an honor. You know, that's in respect and in love. You know what I mean? So love yourself so we can get to that part, you know, where we loving our brothers and our sisters. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of somebody else who may need your support. They may not know it. Take care of yourself, man, to the point where, man, when it comes time for you to look out for that other brother, even if that's a slap on the wrist, to let him know, hey, no, bro, hey, got to help take care. I'm my brother's keeper. You know, let's get it to that, man. Love yourself so you can love the next man or woman, next brother or sister. Take care of yourself so you can do that with the next brother and sister, man. Until then, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Let's focus on the focus, all right? And trust and know the power is in the people. Power is in the people, y'all. Be one. One love, everybody.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurston, writing future history. From the Apollo to the Borough to the Sphere, where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transformed suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws, and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant is once a less than actors, actors, and reciters. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch the appeals for polls. Need your data, tropes, and counsel, any problem when the wedges wanna build the season bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times, plead the walk and soft the main. Make it honor fans, turn and neck and love the durn. Suffers like a kesha. You went from the preaching up on side is each lunch on the shit and untrue seeing vet someone that varied it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bonavent. You wait something for the marker, make the key to pull the club and saw the bloods to the Sangaland is carried open, slowly keep us looking on my mother, break your generosity for the he and let the peasant be. It's every time we keep a spawn.